All right, good morning, everybody. Today, we will be having a customer-centric approach to product creation, market research, and user insights. How do you conduct credible market research and then get user insights? How do you get to the point where you know this product should be in the market? So all these things, we'll be handling them. Understanding user and customer needs. These needs of a customer, what are they? Let's say that you want to, as a product manager, your company wants to come up with a product in the market. Now, there are certain things you're supposed to do. There are certain things that you're supposed to go through. So the user-centric approach is that the user is the center of the process of your production. Now, what are the things you go through just to make sure that you produce or you come up with a product? What you do is that you make sure that the customer is actually needing that product. Now, one of the core concepts that we are going to be handling here is the importance of customer needs. The importance of a customer need. Now, there was a book I read, either How to Sell to Nigerians. Yes, How to Sell to Nigerians. There was something the man said there. He said that the normal approach of what we do is we go create a product and we'll come and start looking for the market to sell the product. For example, you create shoe and you build shoe and you say, oh, people will need shoe, they will like this kind of shoe, and you go and produce that shoe, and now you're looking for people that will buy the shoe. He said, now, what you do is that, no, you don't create shoe and start looking for customers. The customers have a need. The need, and they're looking for that product they're looking for, is then you now come and start building the product so that you can go and supply it to those customers. And most of us, we create a shop, start a business without validating the fact that customers will need this thing. So companies don't do that anymore. So one of the things you must do before you create any product is to do what is called market research. And that market research have techniques, and that's what we're going to be handling. One of the techniques of market research is that you conduct what is called primary research. There are two kinds of research. There is a primary research and there is a secondary research. Now, the primary research deals with you directly getting the information from the users themselves. You are interacting with the users directly. And one of the methods to interact with the users directly is surveys. Now, what are surveys? You write questions down about a particular product need, and then write things down and you share it to customers. Sometimes people do it online, and then they tell you, please take 1 minute, take 2 minutes, 5 minutes, and fill this survey form. What they're trying to do is to get your need, to get insight from you, so that they will be able to now know, what do you actually think about what I want to do? Most of us don't do that. So you create surveys, and when that survey comes, there was a survey I did. All right, so this is the survey I ran, and in that survey, what I got was 38 responses. I did this survey last month, and it's about a survey to get direct information from you about housing needs in Nigeria. And this was the survey. These are the questions I asked. Which of these best describes you? Tenant, landlord, all that and all that. What age range? I asked about 10 questions. Are you seeing it? How do you find your last current house? These are stuffs that you are going to do as a product manager. Where do you currently live? Now, they answered all these questions. What would make house hunting easier for you? Now, after going through this is my responses. About 38 people responded. Now, Google summarized my responses for me. It said in my first questions, it said, I have more tenants. About 68% of my respondents, 68.4% are tenants. After that, about 21.1% are people looking for house to rent. Now, landlord is 10.5% of the persons. Now, agent is 5.3%. People who responded to this survey, right? You see, it doesn't lie. So we have more tenants and we have a lot of people looking for house. Now watch, what is your age range? The age range of people who answered this thing, remember, look at this. The age range is from 18%, 18 to 24, 25 to 34, 35 to 44, 45 to 54, and then 55 above. Now, check, I have more of 25 to 34 persons. So when they tell you that Africa have a lot of young persons, these surveys are showing it. So you see, in my survey even, we have more people between the age of 25 to 34 who answer. So about 47% of the respondents in my survey are people between 20. So now if you go down, you see current renter experience. You see people's current rent. How did you find your last rent or current house? Now see, the blue one is talking about through a house agent, through friends and family, online property. So I'm trying to find out how people are actually getting to rent houses in Nigeria. Are you getting me? How are they actually getting to rent houses in Nigeria? So if you check very well, you see more than half. Okay, it's not up to half. 48.6% through house agent. Now, if you see another 48.6% is through friends and family. Just only 2.7%. It tells you that there's something there that people don't like. Something is there. That is why that we just have 2.7%. You know why? Because of people are not finding it reliable. Now, where did you currently live? Well, in my respondents, how about more people live in Aba City and all that, Port Harcourt. So if you go down, you see this is more like survey, getting you to understand the customer need from them directly. How long did you take to find your current accommodation? Now check, 1 to 3 months is more. I have more people who spend more time just to look for accommodation. Now look at 3 to 6 months is 18%. 1 month is 24%. So you see the people that some other persons, it took them 6 months just to find a house. Are you seeing what surveys, what data is showing? So survey gives you data. What percentage of your income goes into rent? Check. So this one, 45% of the persons who are in the red is 20 to 40% of their income goes into rent. Now, if you check 20% of someone's income, about 27%. Now check 40 to 60% of someone's income annually, about 21% of the people say that 40 to 60% of their income goes into rent. Can you imagine? So you now, as you just look at what's happening. Have you ever encountered these issues? Now you see. Now you begin to see pain points and solution. Open-ended question. Describe your worst rental experience in Nigeria. This person said the landlord with terrible conditions and nosy. This one said landlord currently rent from 2 new tenants for 1 apartment. Scamming. Are you seeing the issues people are having? This one say I live with the landlord and he keeps bringing up rules that even his children and him don't abide by it. This one says landlord even increases house rent without considering the tenant's financial situation. They only care about themselves. Are you seeing what people are saying? This is bad house. Another person say poor living conditions. The person say rent was increased in short-term notice from 240,000 to 420,000. Are you seeing that? Not being able to provide water and electricity. Another person say recently I started scouting for apartment, got in contact with an agent and I felt at ease, not knowing it was going to be a long chain of agent connection, paying all of them off and transporting them to and see the place, which in the end wasn't up to standard. Can you imagine? So if you read down, you see people's frustration, pain point. This one says my worst rental experience in Nigeria could be dealing with inadequate infrastructure and unreliable landlord issues. Issues like frequent power outages, lack of water supply, and poor maintenance were frustrating. Additionally, difficulty in getting repairs done or resolving disputes with. So you see. Now, so why I came to all these things is that you see how surveys can be done. Directly, you're getting information from the users directly. So you can do your surveys online. You can also do it offline. You know, you can share things and then collect the responses of people at the same time. So another thing we can do is interview. You know about interview. You can meet people one-on-one and ask them questions directly and hear from them. And as they are talking, you're jotting down the points of what they are saying, right? So these are the things that you should do when you're trying to do primary research. Another thing is focus groups. You can bring up a discussion around the group, see how they respond to that discussion, how they talk about it, observe what they are saying in that group. This person says, that person says. That's a focus group. So now another thing is observation. Observation is another way of directly getting information from your users, watching user interact with the product or task in a natural environment. What are they doing? They are doing something, but you're getting insight from what they are doing. So now the next thing is secondary research. What's secondary research? Secondary research is, for example, I've done this online survey. I can upload it online now. Upload this survey that customers have given me. I can upload it online, and someone wants to now do research. He can now hop in and use this data that I have provided online and use it to do his research. So you see, it's as simple as that. They use it and do their research and move on. So you see, now that's secondary research, whereby you are collecting an already existing data. Someone have done the thing and gotten it, and you now come use it to do what you. So when you go online, search on Google, the information Google is giving you, someone dropped that information there. That is secondary research you're doing. When you go to AI sites like ChatGPT, you're doing something. ChatGPT doesn't collect information from nowhere. He goes to somewhere, gets the information, goes to this other place, go to that place, get them together and give it to you. That thing you did is secondary research. That's secondary research. Okay? So in secondary research, part of the ways of conducting that research is industrial reports. You can go and get industrial reports. You can get competitor research. You can do research on your competition. You can also do online reviews and forms, online review forms, right? So mining user-generated content to find existing pain points, right? That's an unmet need. Okay, so these are ways you can conduct research. What's this popular Nigerian blog, that people come drop things on? You can go there. Even Reddit, you can go to Reddit. It's not a Nigerian platform. You can go there, because people drop things there, discussions go on there, and people drop their information. You can go there and get it. So now, another way of conducting research is creating user personas. What is a user persona? A user persona is more like simulating a user. For example, you want to create a shirt like this. So to create a user persona, you simulate the person that wear the shirt in your mind. You say, okay, the person that wear this shirt is this. His name is Timothy. He works in a bank, right? Or he's a techie. He is sporty in nature. His age is 34, for example. He's 40. He lives in an urban area. Every attribute of that user you want to create that in from. That is a user persona. Everything about that user, his behavioral patterns, his demography, his character, his spending habits, where his interests are, everything about that user, that's a user persona. You create it, simulate it, and because it helps you to create that product according to a person. According to a person. I'm sorry, this class might be a bit long, but that's what is needed. Okay, so in creating a user persona, you is a fictional yet realistic composite profile of a key segment of your audience based on the research data that you collected. So if you look at that research that I collected now, you see that if I want to create a user persona, you see the age range of people responding. Do you understand? You see their behavioral patterns, you see where they live, you see their frustrations, right? So you can use that and create a user persona. And then when you are creating a user persona, there are things you put in place, just like I have mentioned. I don't want this video to be too long, so that's why I'm not focusing on each point so much. So user personas make target customer tangible and relatable. It makes them real to you because you've been able to imagine and get everything about them. It makes you know, okay, this Femi, you're no more, is Femi, I'm creating this product for Femi. Who is Femi? And you begin to bring all the attributes of Femi. Everything he does. Femi has a girlfriend, Femi this, Femi that. Let me give you an example. What's the user persona of someone who uses iPhone 17? It's an assignment. I want us to do it and drop it on the comment section. What is the user persona of someone who uses iPhone 17? By that, you already know this person is a high earner. iPhone 17. You already know this person is not living in a rural area. By that, you know this person can also be a techie because for them to buy iPhone 17, they need it maybe for their work. This person can also be a videographer, high-end videographer, or a photographer. So you see, what's it? So I want us to do it. You can even ask ChatGPT to tell you what's the user persona of someone who is going to use iPhone 17. I want us to do it. Okay, that's an assignment, so that it helps us understand what we are studying about. Then, another thing we do is competition analysis. Remember, we are doing research now. The product you want to start, someone is already doing it. Someone already has it or something similar. So you need to do a competitive analysis. Why the competition analysis matters is that, number one, core concept. Competitive analysis isn't just about copying competition. It's not about copying your competitors. It is about strategic differentiation. Now, when you understand your competition, the next thing it helps you to do is to differentiate your product. It makes you have a different product that you're not just replicating what everybody else is doing. Right? Because iPhone exists, you see Samsung. Samsung is a differentiator. Samsung is just on their own. They are unique. They can provide you exactly what an iPhone can give you, but it's a separate experience. And I discovered the people who use Samsung phones, they stick to Samsung phones. Why? Because of the experience they get. Is differentiated from the market. Is offering the same phone service but different. Okay, so it helps you doing your competitive analysis. Helps you know what are the strategy you're going to use to enter the market. What are the places these competitors are not doing well? What are they lacking? What are the places that I can come in and then fill this gap? What are the gaps that you can fill? Right? So this competitive analysis framework, one of the framework of competitive analysis is SWOT analysis. Some of us know about SWOT analysis, where we are talking about weakness, strength, weakness, opportunity, and threats. These are different things that you analyze. What are the weaknesses of your competition? What are their strengths? What are they very good at? Now, what are the opportunities in the market of your competition? And another thing, what are the threats that your competition has? So if you analyze all these things, it helps you know, where do I come in? What do I analyze? What do I utilize? And then it helps you, there are direct competitors you have, but there are also indirect competitors you have. So you talk about direct and indirect competition. Let's look at Learn Factory. That is offering that tech program now that we are doing. Learn Factory. What are the direct competitors of Learn Factory? Other tech hubs. There are direct competition. Other tech hubs in Aba or elsewhere. We are directly competing with them. Now, what are the other people that we are competing with indirectly? Individuals who are not even tech hubs, who are also offering tech services, right? Schools too. They are not hubs, right? They are not hubs, but they are learning places who are also offering. These are people we are also competing with, right? So you see that the competition is not just direct, it's also indirect, right? So another assignment I want us to do is to, Spotify and Apple Music. Spotify, I don't know if you know about Spotify. It's a music app. You can listen to different kinds of music there. I use it. And then we know about Apple Music, example. So now, this is direct competition. So I want us to do a SWOT analysis on these two companies. Do a SWOT analysis. Let's analyze the two companies and see the gaps this one have and the gaps this one has. So if you are now the third person that wants to enter the market, you're competing with Spotify, you're competing with Apple Music. Let's say you are AGK Music. How do you enter the market? Conduct a SWOT analysis on this competition. So if you have any questions, if you have any interactions, anything you want to say, drop it on the comment section. Let's keep it going.